Goedendag, good day. How are you lovely human being feeling at this moment? My name is Phylicia Joy Kloes, and in today's video I'm going to talk about play. More specifically, I'm going to talk about the importance of play, especially in young children, but honestly, I don't think we're ever too old to play, and sometimes as adults just forget to play. I'm currently sitting in my Montessori classroom, and behind me there is the house corner. Play is a really important thing to choose for young children inside of a classroom, even a Montessori classroom. Of course, there is an importance to work with all the different work. However, playing inside of the house corner, or for example, playing on the shared area in the hallway, is really important for young children. Young children learn to make different skills their own through their younger years. They use repetition, they use observations, they use trial and error to make skills their own. The house corner is really important for young children to make sense of their world around them. Young children see us adults, for example, prepare food, go to work, step into the car, making sure that the table is set up for dinner, making sure that you can receive guests, prepare drinks for guests, take care of a younger brother or sister who is, for example, still a baby. Young children learn to make sense of their surroundings by observing, and then afterwards they play what they see. Children learn to make activities their own throughout play. The house corner is really, really important, because children learn throughout play to make sense of, for example, what their parents do at home. And they do that in the house corner. It's honestly a really essential skill for children to play, because it helps them to categorize all the things in their mind, and it helps them understand us adults a lot better. So for example, when I want to teach the children about cooking, how can I teach them anything without letting them experience it? I don't always have to use real knives for cutting. I have done that last year. However, through the house corner, I can teach them how to prepare a dish, that you can wash your ingredients, that you can cut or pretend to cut the ingredients. Pretend play is really, really important. Something else that children learn in the house corner through play is to take in roles. So some child decides to be a mom or a dad. Some child decides to play a baby. When that happens, I usually think, hey, that's something that is noticeable, because oftentimes children like to play older. However, sometimes children want to refer back to playing a baby. It's something more comfortable, for example, for them. That's just something I notice. I don't tell them to not do that, of course, because that will remove the fantasy from their play. However, it's something that I just see and am aware of, and throughout their play, I can observe throughout the weeks, throughout the months, to see if their play enhances. Children also learn to stay in their role. So for example, a big sister will sometimes all of a sudden be a younger sister. However, when they're older and socially further, then they'll stay in that big sister role. The children do the things that are, to them, a fit to the big sister role. They probably have seen it in their big sister at home. They probably have seen it around them, and oh, there's a sensor in my class. So sometimes I have to walk. It's really important for the children to explore the different roles, but also to learn to keep the role. And when they're older or they're more assertive, they can tell other children what role they can play. Something that's really important for me as a teacher is to play along with the children. So, for example, when I go in my rounds, I also try to stop by the house corner. I ring the bell, they usually let me in, and then I tell them, hey, I'm your neighbor, nice to meet you, my name is, what is your name? They sometimes come up with a name, sometimes they're a little flabbergasted and they don't know, or they just say, I'm mom, I'm big sister. And then I ask them, oh, it's raining, where can I put my wet jacket? So I'm playing along with the season that it is outside. And I usually ask, do you have any coffee? Is there any milk? I don't want sugar in my coffee. Sometimes I get an invitation and I get a little card for a birthday party, for example, and then we pretend that we're giving gifts. And a lot of the times the children have a certain routine, for example, to first put the gifts to the side, have a cake, have a drink, or sometimes they first want to have the real meal, afterwards have the cake and have the drinks alongside. So for me, as a teacher or as the adult, I can enhance the game. So for example, if a child comes in and the child mentioned, I've baked a cake, I can ask them, oh, is the cake still hot? Did you put the cake in the oven? Did you let the cake cool down? What ingredients did you use in the cake? Or, oh wow, it smells so delicious. What is that delicious smell? Is the coffee still hot? Oh, is the baby okay having no clothes on the ground? That happens a lot. They just sometimes forget about the baby. For example, oh wait, we want to have a meal, but we don't have enough forks to eat the cake on the dining room table. Sometimes before I had two babies, however, they kind of ripped one of the arms to where it's almost going to fall off. So I just have to make sure if I can go to a doll doctor somewhere here to fix it, because I don't want to get rid of it. It's just the arm. So it's so wasteful to get rid of that. But sometimes they put one of the babies in the oven or outside of the house and I'm asking them, what happened? Yeah, the baby was bad. And then I ask them, but a baby is really young. A baby still has to learn. Big sister, can you teach the baby how it's done? Because you're the big sister. Mom, can you help big sister show the baby how it's done? Throughout the games, throughout play, I can help the children to enhance their games. And if I just observe, of course, they also play. But as an adult, I can make sure that certain vocabulary is added, certain movements are added, certain activities are added. And this helps to raise the game or the play to the next level, which helps them to understand the world around them a lot better. Using your imagination and your fantasy helps to enhance the play. Currently, the children have 1 week off, as do I after today. And after this fall break, I will teach the children the house corner play. And this is just a way for the children to learn about different activities you can do in the house corner with songs and with the other children observing a couple of children who are playing out whatever I am saying or singing. I do that because I like to teach the children different ways that you can actually play. It doesn't mean that they have to play that way. It's just for inspiration. Because I rather have the children use a lot of their own imagination to make the play work. Sometimes I see the children put the bed sideways, put a blanket over it, and then that's their working desk. So they already are aware that their parents do work and they go to work. Sometimes they use the chairs and I see them use the key, because I have a bunch of keys that are not used anymore in one of those drawers. And then the children will use their key to either lock up the door or turn on the car, and they'll start to work. They also make different rooms. They move around this house corner quite a bit. I don't want them to block the way, because I still want to be able to go through and do my rounds. However, if they rebuild everything in here, as long as they just tidy it up the way it was when they finish it, I'm fine with it. A part of the house play that I will teach after this fall break will also have to do with water. Young children really like to use water. And for me as an adult, I can think, oh no, it's going to be too messy. But the thing is, if I don't let them learn how to wash the baby with water and with soap, they will not learn. And I'm not saying that children who are 4 to 6 year olds should wash their own baby sibling, but it's important for me to allow them to learn these skills. And this also comes to play with learning to clean yourself. Another way to enhance the play inside of the house corner is to go along with the seasons. So for example, when it gets colder outside and when the festivities come around, I like to make a chimney in the house corner so they can warm up and we can make it more cozy. I usually like the children's help. Something that my school did is put tape, or what's it called, foil on the windows to prevent children from outside to look in and from children inside to get distracted by the children outside. I have an opinion about that. Last school year, I actually asked my group 1-2 team whether we would all agree to take it all off. And most votes count, so, or the most votes count, so that's why it's still on there. However, I think it's really a pity because, especially in Montessori education, children should bring outside in. And I mean, I can look at the trees, I can see a lot more. But when I use the squat style and try to envision the point of view from the young child, they can't see outside. So I would like, after this fall break, to also use the children's art to create windows and make like a fall scenery and add onto the art throughout the months where it gets darker and darker, earlier and later in the day. Because it's important for them to really feel the environment. And currently it's quite simple, which is okay too, because some children just need less prickles. Some children need less distractions around them, which helps them to focus on their play or whatever work they're working on. However, I would like to make this more cozy. A lot of real life materials are added in the house corner to make it more realistic. For example, there's real knives, forks, and spoons, not sharp knives, it's those butter knives, but still. I used to not have plastic food. However, one child came to school and she thought it was sad that we didn't have the plastic food to play with. So her mom actually got it for us, which was so sweet. And then I ended up finding a really big bag at a secondhand shop, cleaned it all, and added a little bit into the house corner. But cooking tools are in there, clothing for the children to get dressed, a bag, a wallet, stuff for the baby. And I would like to add, after this fall break, more things for cleaning the baby, like towels, actual soap, and every morning I have to make sure that there's some lukewarm water, where am I from? Water in the bathtub, so they can make it more realistic and really get into their roles. And I'm also curious to see whether or not children will still like to play a baby or not. I have made a rule. In the morning there are 2 children allowed to play in here, and in the afternoon 3, and in the afternoon they're allowed to have visitors. In the morning I'm only allowed to be a visitor, which you could have an opinion about, but for me this works. Especially since I also want the children to do other things. However, play is super important. We have been learning and playing about the post office and sorting letters, weighing the different packages, delivering the mail to the 3 different classes. And my cousin Thomas actually stopped by, since he is a delivery guy. He delivers mail. The children lit up when they saw a real mailman. The play of this theme turned out even greater. Any time can be playtime. Like, for example, when a child enters a bus and gets home afterwards, you can play that along with your child. Someone can be the driver, you have to check in, check out, you sit on the bus, you have to pay attention where you have to get out, press the button. Anything can be a game or something to play out, because children really learn through play, as I've already mentioned. But also, for example, when we play outside, the children often make, for example, cakes with sand. And they come up to me with their little bowl or plate with their cake, and I ask them, okay, is it still hot? No? Yes? Okay. I try it, or I ask, can I try it? And then I ask the children, oh, what do I taste? And I try to see what the children come up with. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please leave a thumbs up. Leave a comment below of your favorite game that you played as a child.